Hello, hello, hello. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Checking out the Action Lab. We have some big stuff to talk about, and we're just getting going. We have Gold Cup live as we speak, going on. Mayday already in the chat. This is the earliest you've ever been on Mayday. Is it, Scotty? Is it 12 p.m. Eastern time yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. But good to see you jumping in the chat right off the bat. Excited to watch some Gold Cup with you, even though you guys will probably update me and my YouTube TV. Like, you have YouTube TV too, so I don't know why it seems like sometimes I'm ahead of you, you're ahead of me. Been a pretty entertaining first half, but a little stressful at times with the amount of opportunities that Mexico's created, along with, certainly one big miss from the U.S. where they had to take advantage of it and didn't. So
I don't know where you're at on your feed, but I'm at 49 minutes and 6 seconds and counting.
Wow, I'm at 49:13.
So you're a couple seconds ahead of me. So we're right there.
We're
right there. So this is a big matchup here. USA Mexico. Obviously, Mexico historically has done much better in this tournament than the United States, but we're trying to change that, right? Actually, U.S. running out here, and nothing came out of that. Great opportunities, though. I feel like that we just need to capitalize on. I've been kind of watching hit and miss, prepping for the show here, so I'm still trying to get caught up with some of the plays here. But we're going to be wrapping up this first half in the next probably 25 seconds or so, and we will be on to the second half here shortly. So we're going to keep you updated throughout the course of this match, doing some live commentary, trying to make sure that everything is accounted for here. I haven't heard any chanting, though. Has there been any chanting from the Mexican fans in this one?
Not to my knowledge. This one's in, I believe, Vegas. I believe it's at the Death Star, or whatever you want to call it, out in Vegas. That's the Raiders stadium now. So, plenty of Mexican fans there, but maybe they've been on their best behavior so far.
They have to be.
I feel like if U.S. puts up a goal, things might change quickly.
Yeah. So this will be a fun one, though. We'll keep tabs on each and every scoring opportunity, each and every goal. Halftime. Here we go. Mayday. How you doing, my friend? Hope you had a great week. By the way, we are here on our Sunday show, as always, streaming on 3 different platforms: Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you're here, thank you for being part of the show. And then if you're also here and you're not hitting that follow button already, hit that follow button. We'd love to appreciate each and every one of you to join the Action Lab crew and the Action Lab family. So from there, we are off and running. We have a big show for you tonight. Now, obviously, we'll be doing live commentary with the Gold Cup, but we are also going to be covering everything pertaining to NBA free agency, because that's going to be huge. NBA free agency is one of my favorite times of the year, and it's going to be kicking off here shortly. We're going to have timelines for you. We're going to have some of the best available. We're going to go over some of the rumors that are living out there in the Twitterverse and the internet world of who's going to be available, where we think they're going to go. And who knows? I mean, obviously, for Mayday, Ben Simmons still is a possibility of getting moved. Who knows? And then, there's a lot of others that are in the mix. I heard the Lakers might still be continuing to be busy in this off season here very, very soon. Obviously, they acquired Russell Westbrook most recently over the course of the draft, right before the draft kind of kicked off almost, they were getting those discussions finalized. So a lot of NBA to touch on here coming up in the next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we might, if we have some time, we're going to bust out the wheel. We have some little side nuggets and stories for you. But we have a lot to cover, so we might get to that. Can't guarantee it, but if we can, we will. So we have a lot to cover here. Scotty, how's the weekend been going so far, man?
Weekend was good. Busy, just with the kids. I mean, I don't know. I feel like today was a day we had nothing planned. We had no plans. And that ended up being go to church. We went to a park, came back from the park, played outside, ate lunch outside, went into the front yard, did a little things out there with scooters and stuff. Did some chalk art in the driveway, and then we went to the pool.
That's a full day right there.
Yeah, come home and have dinner. Yesterday, wife kicked me out with some of the kids to have a bridal shower, so we went and saw. I went and took my son and my daughter to Space Jam 2.
Oh, nice! And how was it?
I didn't say anything. So I did have. They watched Space Jam, the original, about 2 days prior to going to this. And it was actually awesome to watch how into it my son was. At the end, worried that the Toon Squad wasn't going to win. We went to Space Jam 2. First time at the theater, actually, for either of them. So my son, who's 4.5, has never been. My daughter, 2.5. The daughter was ready to go with 30 minutes left in the movie. I literally on my phone had to put a separate show on for her to watch in order to keep her from walking out of the theater. My son was into it, watched the whole thing, loved it, but he did tell me, and I didn't say anything at all, he told me afterwards, I like the one we watched at home better.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
He's not wrong.
I don't even know what was happening in Space. For anyone who's watched Space Jam 2, please explain to me what the hell happens in that movie, because it's bizarre. The only good parts is it's kind of funny how they have the random Warner references of all the other.
I told you that was the best part of the movie.
That's it. Behind the coaches and stuff, having these random Warner characters watching the game. You see the It character.
Yeah, Pennywise.
Gremlins makes a appearance. If anyone dating back to your 80s, all over I saw the Joker. I saw all of this.
Mayday. Going to the water park. Which water park is out there? Because we have a really, really good one out here called Waterworld in Colorado. One of the best water parks, from what I've heard, one of the top 5 in the nation. And we love it out here. It's fantastic. I haven't gone in a couple years, but it's incredible. What do you guys have out there if there's a really nice one? And then also following up, nice job raising your son. I don't know if that's due to the fact that he's giving you props for raising him the right way and liking the first Space Jam better, or if he's saying, nice job raising your son, taking him to that garbage second movie. You're an awful father.
I'm gonna assume this was a legitimate compliment for Mayday, and he's proud of how I am raising my son, and I'll take it. I will take it.
Hey, we love it.
Apparently, there's a lot of water parks out in Philadelphia. So,
yeah, we got a great one out here, man. We have to take the kiddos over there to the one here and locally. It's a great one.
I haven't been to a water park in Philly, but I have been to Hershey Park. I
have not.
Not bad.
Honestly, I can't tell you I've ever been to Philadelphia in my life. So that's just. Maybe Mayday could be my tour guide here. Just make your son an Eagles fan.
I mean, listen, Mayday. I don't think that would help my fathership when I'm sitting here on a gold mine of the Chiefs, and I'm like, why don't we just switch script and go with the Eagles?
Kyle Gibson. Oh yeah. You mentioned Kyle Gibson had a nice debut. Yeah. All right. I haven't kept tabs on it, but I'm gonna take your word for it on that one. So, anyways, yeah, well, right, we're off and running here with the show, and we have so much to get to. So let's dive in. While we're on halftime, I think it's a great opportunity to jump into some NBA free agency talk. Now, there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of movement, a lot of it. I mean, the Lakers have been at the center of a lot of different conversations. 2 runs, 6 innings. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. I think Philadelphia, by the way, scored like 15 runs today. I think they just crushed today. So I don't think you had anything to worry about. No lack of offense over there in Philadelphia right at this very moment.
Helps with your pitching, getting comfortable. Easy first game.
Yeah. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's jump into our NBA. Now, Scotty, we just got done. We had our big NBA draft special. We had a lot of names coming off the board, and the Nuggets got a great pick. Love their pick, but a lot of teams in the first few picks got some pretty good, talented players to fit in. But now we're done with the young guns. Now we're into the free agents and the trades and the signing and negotiations coming up here. So, I mean, this is going to be a big one. And don't worry about the graphics right now. For some reason, our graphics are just all over the place.
Do some SEC talk.
We already talked some SEC about everything going on with that mess. But just a few things to touch on here with NBA free agency. Now, I wanted to give you guys a quick little rundown of what we have coming up. So, starting tomorrow is the first day teams can begin negotiating with free agents starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Which is fake.
Which,
I mean, they already have.
This has kind of been happening. As much as they want you to think it hasn't been, it has been. But this is officially, hey, like, what's up? You want to come hang out with me and see what you could do for my team?
Swipe right, swipe left.
Yeah,
this is just an app for the NBA free agents.
Tinder. Why doesn't NBA
swipe left?
NBA should definitely take advantage of this Tinder app somehow. And just do that for any team. Are you interested or not? So starting August 6th. So coming up here this week, teams can begin signing free agents. So you're obviously going to get, coming up here by tomorrow, a lot of just agreeing to terms, agreeing to this, agreeing to that. But you can't actually officially sign until August 6th. Now, starting August 8th through the 17th, MGM reports Resorts NBA Summer League in Vegas kicks off, so that's where we'll see a lot of the young talent coming in and trying to, get warmed up in some NBA, young gun competition out there in Vegas. So that'll be interesting to see some of those draft picks making a name for themselves early on in the offseason here. Then coming up September 28th, training camp begins for all NBA teams. Regular season concludes at this point in 2022 in April 10th. Play-in tournament is going to be new this year. We're going to touch on that a little bit. In the April 15th through the 12th through the 15th in 2022. Playoffs begin April 16th. And man, I can't believe October 19th is the first game of the regular season. It's kind of crazy. It's coming up quick, man. It's coming up quick. NBA Finals start in June on the June 2nd, June 19th, Game 7, if necessary, of the NBA Finals. And then we're back June 23rd, straight back into the NBA Draft. So that's where we're at with this. And I think, Scotty, you might be frozen here, but let me get you back. There we go. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Let's get
back. That vanished quickly. Here for a minute. I was all by myself.
I would never leave you by yourself. Never. We take good care of you. So that's what our storylines and timelines look like for key dates in the 2021-22 season. Now, the interesting thing is the play-in tournament is going to be fun. We'll dive into that a lot more, but we have too much to cover when it comes to NBA free agency. So let's dive in here and get that going. So let me pull up our graphics here. Now, we have players and teams that are available, and these are just like overarching players and teams, right? So on this list, free agent, we have their top 10, kind of bigger names here, and then we have the teams that are associated with them and how much potential cap space they have to dedicate towards free agents. Now, I believe this was pulled from an NBA, ESPN NBA insider for all of these figures on the caps, because there was a couple different lists that I saw that had some different figures on it, but this one was the one that it felt like was from a substantial source, and this is what I think is going to be like pretty standard when it comes to NBA free agency. So the Spurs have the most to spend, hovering around 50 million. The Knicks are up there as well, trying to get their team. I mean, which is a lot of money to spend for a team that made the playoffs and made a decent run this past year. The New Orleans Pelicans, 36 million. They can put something around, that nice young core of teams, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and see what they can do there. I don't mention Mr. Ball because I don't know if he's still going to be there or not. Who knows if he's going to be off and running to another team, but I leave him off that list for that reason. The Thunder, along with their million draft picks, also have a ton of money to spend. So they're probably not going to spend it. They're probably going to, just let it ride and just keep rolling with this method that they have going. Bulls, 32 million. Heat, 21.5 million, which the Heat, by the way, if there's a team that's been more rumors than any other team, it's the Miami Heat. I feel like every single source I look at for multiple players involves the Miami Heat. So they're going to be super active this off season as well. The New Orleans the Charlotte Hornets. Sorry,
close enough.
It's close enough. It's recency bias towards that. And then the Dallas Mavericks obviously are down towards the last ladder of this echelon of teams with money and possible cap space for players. So 19 million under the cap. So there's a lot of teams that have the ability to make some moves here. Now on this list, Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, if Kyle Lowry doesn't get moved at all, man, like what's happening there? They've been trying to move him for years, it seems.
He's unrestricted.
Yeah. He's going to be.
He's gone. It might involve us. It sounds like it's going to involve a sign and trade, actually.
Yeah. You got John Collins with the Hawks, Mike Conley with the Jazz, which the Jazz have been making some moves. They just made a trade this past week to potentially try to figure out a way to keep him around. I think that was one of their priorities. But they shipped Derek Favors out for a second-round draft pick. Nothing crazy. And, they're kind of moving on to trying to make some moves to keep that team intact as much as possible. Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Jared Allen, Dennis Schroeder, and Duncan Robinson. So those are some of the teams or some of the players that could be on the move, depending on, some of them are restricted, some of them unrestricted, but there's a lot of rumors, a lot of things going on here. Now, when you're looking at these lists initially, we're going to get into rumors here in a second, Scotty, but when you're looking at this list initially, what does anything pop out to you, like, that, certain names that, you would like to see potentially move somewhere specific, or just in general, like what would you like to see with these?
Like to see move, sure. Do I think a lot of these names are moving, especially the big names? I don't. Like, Kawhi and Chris Paul both turned down their player options today, so they are actually officially free agent. I think Kawhi was had 36 million on on the line next year. So first of all, Kawhi lives in a great world where he just tore his ACL and turned down $36 million next year. So it sounds like he wants to stay with the Clippers. Everything points to that. Chris Paul as well with the Suns. Kyle Lowry, we'll get into it. I think Kyle Lowry's definitely on the move, whether it's a sign and trade or just, him signing somewhere else. We'll see for sure what happens there. I haven't heard a lot about John Collins, but the fact that he's restricted in Atlanta, making the run they did, I think that's a guy they'll look to keep no matter what. Lonzo Ball, I think, is on the move. DeMar DeRozan, I think, is on the move. Jared Allen, I think they'll try and... Dennis Schroeder's on the move, obviously, now that Westbrook's in L.A. Duncan Robinson will be an interesting one because the Heat are, like you kind of talked about, trying to move some pieces and maybe signing a guy higher up on this list. Maybe two, actually, higher up on this list, which would be interesting. As far as the teams, like Spurs may have money, but are they attractive right now? Like DeMar's gone. Like they don't have a lot of pieces, and like Greg Popovich. First of all, there's been articles about how the team's upset with the offense he's running in the Olympics. Granted, they played better these last two games, and he's at the end of his road. Like how many more years is he going to coach? So I don't see them as that attractive. The Knicks could be an attractive option, obviously up and coming, overachieved this last year with $47 million. Pelicans with Zion need to make something happen, but because reports are Zion's already upset, or at least his people are. I don't even know if it's Zion. It's Zion's people, because that's what matters now. It's not even the player. It's his people, his entourage.
It's always about the people.
You got to make sure they're happy, or he can't be happy. Thunder, like I said, aren't going to spend a dime because they want to continue to accumulate high draft choices and build a juggernaut that way. Bulls are a team that's going to try and make some signings for sure, and I think there's a name on this list that I think it sounds like they're going to go after and likely get. Heat, like we talked about, are going to be active. Hornets are interesting. Hornets are interesting to me in the sense like, so they just today came out. They didn't tender Malik Monk, who, listen, we talked about the Hornets backcourt moving forward. We love their draft. Getting James Bouknight, I think 11 to pair with LaMelo Ball. Is going to be a really nice backcourt. I like their pieces. Their depth there is nice, but they did put out a qualifying restricted offer to Devontae Graham, but didn't offer Malik Monk. Both those guys could be gone though, which could be super interesting on what happens then, because those are two pieces that I think a lot of teams would like. Devontae Graham and Malik Monk is gone for sure. Malik Monk on like a playoff caliber team, he shot over 40% from three. He's not going to do much else than that. He's not going to create off the dribble, but he's a reliable shooter, and that's something that's important in today's league. And of course the Mavericks, who have, I think they got a guy on their team that's pretty good, so some guys might want to play there.
Yeah, there's a lot of names floating around. Now, one I saw, obviously the Lakers are always a team that are always trying to make some moves, and I did see some little tidbits of information of a banana boat reunion with possibly Carmelo Anthony interested. Well, he's always interested to play with LeBron, I would think. But then also the Lakers showing a little bit of interest towards him as well. So now there's still some things that got to probably get worked out there, and the fit, obviously. But yeah, I mean, there's the Lakers aren't done from what it sounds like. They're still kind of going through the free agency to see what they can do to bring somebody in, and who knows, like. Obviously they could still make a splash, but right now they have a big three with Westbrook, they have AD, and they have LeBron. So to be able to put somebody else in there and try to, a little bit of a boost of offense. Now, Carmelo, he's based off of what he's done, is he the player that he used to be? Absolutely not. But can he still do a few things for you offensively? And I mean, he was making some good big shots in the playoffs against the Denver Nuggets when we played him. So I mean, he still has a little bit of game left as far as that goes. So from that standpoint, I feel like the Lakers aren't done making moves.
I've heard so much with the Lakers. I've heard Dwight Howard wants to go back.
Oh, Dwight Howard's another one.
Center. I've heard initial reports were that DeMar DeRozan was willing to take the mid-level exception and a big, pay decrease in order to join the Lakers. Those reports today were actually debunked, and it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. Thank goodness. I was like, really, DeMar? Don't do it, DeMar. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But at the same time, even with DeMar, I'm like, all right, they're still missing shooting. Like,
sure.
That's the worst shooting starting five in probably the NBA. I don't even care who your fifth starter is when you're looking at, LeBron, DeMar, Westbrook, and AD. AD is probably your most consistent 3-point shooter there. But anyway, that would have been scary. I didn't want that. So glad that seems debunked. I've heard Wayne Ellington wants to go back to the Lakers. Anybody,
who
it's just
doesn't?
Annoying in the NBA. Well, but it works in all sports. It's not just the NBA. That teams that are good attract kind of those guys that are nice pieces and maybe not pieces that will help a roster significantly that's middle of the road. But a team that's close to the top will just put them over the top, and they can underpay them because they're just an attractive landing spot for these players. It happens in football. It happens in basketball. It happens all over the board. So people want to win championships and be a part of a postseason run. So I guess I can't blame it. Just don't go to the Lakers. There's other teams, right?
There's the Brooklyn Nets.
Don't do that either. Never mind. Don't do that either.
There's the Brooklyn Nets.
Actually, while we're on the Lakers and Brooklyn Nets real quick, let's pose this question. Which big three would you take?
Between
Brooklyn and LA, they're big three. I think you know which three are in both.
I mean, I would probably take Brooklyn's big three. I mean, that would be my big three. I
agree.
I mean, the shooting, you got KD, you got James Harden, who could hit anywhere, and then you have one of the best finishers in Kyrie, who can just facilitate the basketball as well. I think there's a little bit more cohesion and more potency from them than the other way around. So, Westbrook is, I think, the chain link that doesn't really have the strength to hold that together, from at least what I feel. I don't know. It's hard to see what he's going to look like in this role with the Lakers as the point guard, because he's a very ball dominant kind of guy. He needs to have the ball in his hand. So, how is that going to play out when LeBron needs to get his shots up? And here's the thing, people have been kind of saying all right, well, he had a facilitator with Rondo, and Rondo gets you the ball back. Rondo isn't looking to shoot every time he gets the ball or take it to the hole every time he's looking to pass and facilitate. So, you're getting a different kind of point guard when it comes to what Westbrook brings to the table. Real quick, we're a few minutes into this second half of the Gold Cup, and the Mexican team has had a few opportunities in our box to get some shots, maybe not necessarily direct on net, but they've been really, really just knocking on the door quite a bit here. USA is currently holding the ball on the Mexican half of the field, just kind of bouncing around, not really maintaining a ton of possession here, but it's just kind of, it's not, there hasn't been a lot of, feeling for me that USA has really had control. I feel like Mexico is definitely, you mentioned this a little bit beforehand, Mexico feels like they're slightly the better team here. USA is still playing strong, so I still want to keep them. We still got a 0-0 match here, so anything can happen. But yeah.
And let's keep in mind, for anybody freaking out on what we just said, at the same time that neither of these rosters are their peak roster.
Correct.
World Cup often, the U.S. has a history of kind of taking what's referred to as a B squad. They don't have some of their top talent there. Obviously, Pulisic isn't there. Reyna isn't there. A couple other guys for sure. So they're playing. So a lot of guys that wouldn't be. When we played Mexico, just a month or two ago, whenever that was, and that final out here in Denver. That was a lot more of an A roster. Then again, Mexico doesn't have a full A roster either. They're missing a couple of vets, but I would say Mexico's roster is a little more loaded as far as some of their top players than the U.S. roster. So Yeah, the odds going into this game, I think US was like a plus 230 to win tonight, and Mexico was like a, I don't know. Oh, maybe that was wrong. I don't know, but they were certainly, US was certainly the underdog in the odds going into tonight's game, which is no surprise, and that's okay. But they're fighting hard. They're competing, and yeah, Mexico's had more opportunities, but the US has had some too. And as far as possession goes, I don't expect US to hold possession a lot in this game. It's going to be more of a counter. When you get opportunities, move quickly, try and create something when, Mexican defenders are maybe out of position or press forward or something like that, and create that way.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on what's going on in the USA-Mexico Gold Cup final. Also, let us know what you're feeling about NBA free agency. Obviously, we're doing live commentary and checking in on this game throughout the course of the match. But if you want to talk about anything and anything when it comes to soccer, this match here, NBA, NFL, anything, just throw it out there. We love to see all you guys in the chat throwing out your different opinions and ideas on anything you guys want to talk about. So this is an open forum. This show is for you to share your thoughts and to have fun with us. So let's do that. Make sure you guys, we like to get to know you guys. So let's keep it rolling. If you're here and you love the content so far, you love just like hanging out with us, why not? Hit that follow button. We appreciate all of the love, and we can't wait to, see you back in here consistently. It's like, you know what it's like, Scotty? It's like when you go to the bar and you have like that bartender that really knows who you are. They're just like, they know you by name and everything's all good. Like, that's what we want here. We want to be your bartender, and we need some regulars. That's what we love, right?
Oh, okay. I was like, do we have to start serving drinks?
No.
Because I will.
I mean,
happy to do so.
You guys can get your own drinks together if you're.
I can assign you a drink.
Unless
you're Mayday.
Unless you're Mayday. Mayday.
No.
I'll make you a mocktail, and then we'll have some fun.
Sounds awful.
So we'll keep you posted on that. But some of the latest rumors and some of the latest just movement that we've seen. So just a real quick list that I have here pulled up. So obviously you mentioned a couple of these. Kawhi Leonard declined player option. Should be signing a new deal with the Clippers, most likely. Diacol in chat, how does the greatest tennis player in the world come away from the games with them middle? Oh man, how disappointing was that, by the way? The golden, what do they call it? The golden
I'm gonna call it the golden sombrero. It's definitely not that. But
no.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, is it just Golden Slam?
Golden Slam, yeah. I think it's just called the Golden Slam. So if you don't know, in the Olympics, this is the first time that someone's had the chance. Well, I think it's the first time that someone's had a chance to win a gold medal and the Grand Slam of tennis. And
don't mind me. Zardes just missed. Zardes just missed a great opportunity.
Oh, man. I
think he was onside, and he was. On replay, he was absolutely onside, and oh my goodness.
I just actually saw that. So you're a little bit ahead of me. What a play, though. What a pass. Entry pass. That was incredible. Defensive player for Mexico thought it was offsides. It was not. It was. There
was a guy across the field that kept him on. The defender that was guarding him was behind, but there's another defender that kept him on, and he had a perfect opportunity. And the goalie even went the wrong way on the shot, so he just had to put it on net, and he didn't.
Man, so. Hey, I love the opportunities. I love that USA, and as I say that, Mexico kind of creeps back into our penalty box and starts to get close again as well. So this is a wild one, guys. This is going to be a fun one. So keep tuned in, and we will keep you posted on all the updates through this game. But it was a little disappointing. So the first, going back to Novak Djokovic, he was going to be the first guy to get the gold medal and win the Grand Slam, and it's called the Golden Grand Slam, and it doesn't happen very often, but I would have loved to have seen it, and then he ends up dipping out. He was by far the favorite in Vegas and through all the betting platforms to win the gold medal for, I don't know, was it his second gold medal, I believe? Or yeah, does he have a gold medal?
I would imagine he doesn't if this is on the line. Maybe he does. It seems like he would, but why would that matter? He'd already have the slam then. Like,
yeah, I mean, he has had some troubles, you know, in some of the.
Are you just meaning because it's all in 1 year?
All in 1 year, yeah.
Okay.
All in 1 year. Anyway, so yeah,
my big takeaway from this is: Did you see his quote? I think it might have been. I don't know if it was along the lines of someone was asking him about Simone Biles or not, but someone asked him a question where his response was, "Pressure is a privilege," and it could not have been. Maybe it didn't involve Simone Biles. It probably even didn't. But at the same time, it's interesting. Pressure is a privilege. Without pressure, there is no professional sport, is what Djokovic said before his semifinal in this Olympic Games. He's like, if you are aiming to be at the top of the game, you better start learning how to deal with pressure and how to cope with those moments. Super interesting. Obviously, he's at the top of everyone's game in tennis. But he had an absolute meltdown. An absolute meltdown. Of course, he's happy when he's winning. He did not play well in the final. He melted down. He broke his racket. He threw a fit, and then he didn't show up. He was also competing in the doubles side of things in this Olympics, and he didn't show up for his match. So here's a guy talking about pressure and this and that and handling that and feeding off that. And then when he didn't handle the pressure well or when he didn't play well, he melted. He melted.
Yeah.
We've talked about how he probably is hated more than he should and not talked about enough. But this was not a good look for him at all.
No.
At all.
No. Yeah, no. Obviously he's still, I feel like, he's definitely the best player in the world for sure. I just don't understand how you get an outcome like that it's just so out of the blue. I almost kind of didn't really think much of it until I really read into it. I was like, wait a minute. He lost in the Olympics to who? I don't even remember the guy's name. That's how bad it was. So kind of crazy, but that's, interesting storyline. Thanks for the topic though. Definitely something I was wanting to talk about that, Olympics. We were going to get into that here in a little bit with some of the Olympic, headlines, but, crazy stuff. Going back to the NBA, though, as the United States here against Mexico makes a couple substitutions on a penalty, it looks like they will be having a free kick here, I believe, shortly. But making some substitutions to this matchup. But a couple movement items in NBA free agency. So I mentioned Kawhi Leonard declining his player option, will sign a new deal. But he's missing the season with a ACL surgery. Chris Paul declines the player option. He's expected to return to the Suns. Kyle Lowry remains a free agent. Target for the Miami Heat is kind of the big one that's targeted there. That's the main team that I've seen just really pushing after him. They actually re-upped, and Gordon Dragic is going to be back with Miami Heat as well. So if you have a backcourt with those guys, one way or another, just having some depth there, I think
I've heard actually Dragic will be. He was they agreed. Basically, it was an option, and the Heat signed off on it. But from Woj, actually, I think tweeted something along the lines of like, this is likely. He thinks he was hinting that it's going to be involved in a sign and trade with Toronto, where Dragic would go to Toronto to move equal the money out a little bit.
Okay, all right. Well, that could be an option as well. So we'll see with that if that's what ends up taking place here soon. Also, Serge Ibaka exercising his player option. He'll make about $9.7 million with Los Angeles next season. Let's see what else we got. I think those are kind of the bigger ones. Sixers continue also to gauge interest around the league for Ben Simmons. So obviously they're asking a huge price for that. Didn't get anything done on draft night.
Oh, by the way, they're asking crazy price right now.
Yeah.
All reports.
And
like a crazy price that no one in their right mind could ever agree to.
I mean,
maybe they want him back. Maybe that's what they want.
I mean, for a guy who can't shoot, I mean, I feel like I don't know what that really means, but hey, they're trying to keep him there. I don't know. Maybe Mayday. Do you have any insights on what you guys are doing over there? And I don't even know if Mayday's still with us. He might have bummed out to watch some of this game, which is totally cool. I would too. But
ouch.
No, I'm just kidding. If that were me, you would have been doing this show solo. No.
Yikes.
Man, just throwing shade. No, but that's kind of where we're at. Also, I've seen some also interesting things with like Lonzo Ball, and maybe some interesting things there with both. I think the Bulls and the Knicks have linked to him as possible destinations, but there are some indications that he might return depending on how things unfold with the options that or the trade offers or the signs, the deals that they put together for that.
I've heard mostly Bulls there.
Yeah,
that would be where I would think it's leaning right now based off of what I've heard.
Yep. And then there was another one here that I noticed. Obviously the Wizards need, a starting point guard next to Bradley Beal. Considering, we don't even know if Bradley Beal is going to stay. Who knows? But if he does stay, they need something to go with him. And Spencer Dinwiddie, Colorado product here from CU Boulder, has been in the mix for some of those potential rumors from what I've seen in a couple reports. But obviously they're still far away from anything on that front. But there's a prediction that he might go there. So
I heard a report of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan maybe reuniting after many, many years in Toronto and Miami.
Interesting.
Which would be interesting. You add those two, obviously with Butler out there, that could be an interesting team. Still got some shooting and whatnot, so we'll see if they re-sign Duncan Robinson. That'll be interesting to see what happens there, but
yeah,
interesting pieces for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think here's the thing, though. Like, this is going to be a crazy week, but I guess my advice to all of you guys watching the show, and if you guys are big NBA free agent fans and everything else, definitely follow the trends that come from legit sources. Man, another opportunity for USA, by the way. Yep. By the way, USA, a little free kick, goal kick right from Mexico just popped in. We ended up stealing the ball at the top of the 18 and pretty much getting an open shot on goal that just sailed over the net. Now we have a corner here.
It went off the defender's head. You'll see a replay in a second here.
And the corner
corner was garbage.
Corner was eaten up by the goaltender, and we have the ball back in. Throw in on the American side of the pitch.
You caught up to me. We're like even now.
Did you
refresh?
I refreshed, man. I can't have you ahead of me like that, man. I think I need to get this. I need to get this on the same track. So at least we're watching the same thing at the same time.
You're gonna probably at one point say, "Oh, goal!" And you're like, "What? I must be behind." I'm just gonna be messing with you.
Yeah, no. By the way, with all the NBA free agent stuff, keep tabs on all the legit sources from like Woj and from the big time guys that are reputable in the NBA, because there are a lot of people that I get caught up in some of these. Remember last year there was a fake Woj account, and I texted you. I was like, "We got Lonzo Ball," and I was like. And you were like, "Wait, what? I'm not seeing that anywhere." And then all of a sudden I realized they copied Woj's Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN. They copied his profile picture, his name, and everything, and they tweaked it slightly to be. And here's another opportunity for USA.
They're all over it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh man!
They're making a run here. I like how they're playing.
USA
playing with some passion right now. This second half, they're actually playing quite a bit better, I think, than they did in the first. Creating a lot of chances. That one, just deflected by the defender over the top. So corner.
Another corner coming up here very soon. Now, this is the most active the USA has been on the Mexican side of the pitch all game long. So, the momentum is definitely trending the right direction here.
Mm-hmm.
Got some movement inside. Got some guys battling down low here, close to the goal. But here we go. Here we got the corner here taken. And service.
Ooh, you're behind me again, sir.
Pops out. Okay, I'm a little bit behind. Let's see if I can refresh this a little bit.
Because I got a yellow card on Mexico right now.
Yeah. Actually, I just refreshed and just saw him hold up the card. So, so we're just playing catch up here, guys. What are you guys thinking about this match so far? If you're here,
did you see the replay on that?
Oh,
he literally gets cleated in the head.
He gets a foot straight to the back of the head there.
Yeah, that should be a red, in my opinion. I mean, that's as dangerous as it gets. Forget going at a guy's leg. Like, a cleat to the head should be sent off immediately.
I feel, that's a really, really... I mean, he wasn't even close to getting to that ball. As a soccer player, I mean, you know what you can get to and what you can't. I mean, he's getting up like a champion here. He was actually down early on in this game. He took a ball to the head and just like bounced off his head a funky way, and he had to leave the pitch for a minute. But he's back in, and he's taking another shot to the head, just this time from a cleat. So the USA will have
just a cleat.
The USA has a free kick here, probably about 10, 15 feet off of the 18, and they should be able to get this in and hopefully have another opportunity to get a shot on goal. So we'll see here. I don't know. I refreshed. I might be even with you. 7309, 10, 11.
You're behind still.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable.
How did this not get put away?
There was
You gotta be kidding me.
two players had an opportunity. One fell as the ball. And by the way, guys, if you're not watching this one, you're just kind of listening in. The ball's served in, and it's a perfect ball. You couldn't get much better. And one of our players fell down into
Ardez, and then Areola. And the goalie actually made a pretty good play on Areola.
Yeah, he threw his body out there to make the block.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! You could have argued that Zardes, who initially had the ball, gets clipped up by a defender and goes down, which might be legitimate, but I doubt they.
No, you don't call that.
VAR.
Yeah, you don't call that. There was actually a closer call early on in this game on USA in the box that I thought. I don't know if you saw that one early on where it looked like a clear penalty in the box.
I missed the opening minutes, actually.
Yeah, and I was surprised that they actually didn't call a penalty kick for Mexico. And at that point, it was it was super early on in the game. I think the referees didn't want to make a judgment call there. But yeah, this is going to be another corner here coming in. Lot of great opportunities here for this USA team in the last
hand. Yeah, he used his hand. Okay. I was like, how did that ball die on a spot? Sorry if I'm ahead of you.
No. I think I'm only 2 or 3 seconds maybe within where you're at. So yeah. Another missed opportunity, but hey, the fact that they're getting as many as they are, Mexico's making a change here. Gutierrez is coming in, and I believe one other player is coming in. I didn't catch who it was.
Gutierrez is coming out.
Or coming out, I'm sorry.
And, no, coming in and coming. I made it. Never mind. It was a bad joke. It's a bad joke. Just kidding, everyone.
All right, yeah, there we go. All right, so we're back up and running. We got this match kind of back and forth here, and then we will keep you posted on anything else. Now, so I think that those are the big time. Going back to let's see some of the NBA finals or NBA free agency here.
This game is like we can't even talk about other things because this
we might just need to cover just the live commentary. The way this game is rolling, you want to do that, Scotty? You want to just keep it going on and just like. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh, some of the stuff we can get to on our next show, but we're having way too much fun watching this USA Mexico. So here's what we'll do: we'll shut this down, all this chat down, and we're gonna get into some of the USA Mexico. Just live commentary. There's too much happening, too action packed for us not to cover this. Corner coming in from Mexico ends up bouncing around inside the 18, and US comes out with it, moving up the right side of the fields and out of bounds after a contest by Mexico. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up another graphic here, and we can just have some fun with this USA Mexico game.
Yeah. It's back and forth. It's exciting right now. It's competitive. The juices are flowing for I think both teams. I don't have the volume on to hear how the crowd's into it. I hope the crowd's into it at both sides quite a bit because this is fun. This is fun soccer to watch right now. We're football. I'm so bad at saying that. I can't say it. I don't know how they say it.
Football.
Oh, like that?
Football. No, it's football. Football. All right. So let me see here. What we do on the Action Lab here, we just pivot on the fly. You know what I'm saying? We make sure we get this going. If we need to cover some things, we'll cover some things. And that's.
Mm-hmm. So where we're at now, we're headed to the 79th minute as we speak. Mexico got a quick free kick there and has the ball right around midfield. So 0-0. Been a fun game. A lot of opportunities both ways, but no goals yet. So U.S. gets a turnover coming on the counter attack and have some room to attack. Cuts in. Oh, get it. Ooh. Could have been a penalty right outside the box. The ref swallowed his whistle on it and then called a penalty that was not. Wow. We'll have to see a replay on this because live it looked like certainly there was a penalty there. I don't know what your thoughts were on that.
I have to see the replay. I was getting our graphics all situated and I totally missed it. I would leave that alone. That was I think that was a good no call there by referee. He kind of just tripped up a little bit on his own. The defender was there.
He pull the trigger already. He should have shot before that moment anyway.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so here we are. And I'm gonna pull up one more thing here. I'm having trouble.
For any of you guys watching with us, what are your thoughts on this half, especially? Like, are you excited with what U.S. has been doing? Have they been a little too leaky in the back at the same time with the opportunities Mexico's got? What do you like moving forward? Should be fun to watch. Like, part of me kind of wants to get a little, a little extra time in this one. That'd be fun to watch, but stressful at the same time. I'll definitely take a U.S. goal at any moment now. I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, I agree. I think, obviously USA has all the momentum at the moment, and I feel like they are definitely in the driver's seat when it comes to just over the course of the last few minutes, just being super, super aggressive with how they've been really getting opportunities left and right inside the 18. They could have probably scored on 3 or 4 of those opportunities easily. This could easily be like a 1 to 2-0 game, realistically.
0-0. That was back in the day, the U.S. just beat Mexico like 2-0 all the time, and it was, well, all the time. I don't know how many straight games it was, but it was kind of a thing. That was far too long ago, of course, but U.S. is riding a 1-game win streak against Mexico. off that final they had just a short month or two ago. Eesh. Not a good turnover from the U.S. here. Good defense by the U.S. though to recover, get it back, and head the other way. Well, I thought the other way, but now they turned it over again.
Let's see. All right, I got a better view of this game here now, so we're good. All right, so yeah, where are you at in your timing, by the way, Scotty?
Right now I am at 81:41.
Okay, so you're still a little ahead of me. I don't know what it is. You're always just slightly.
Makes up for the other night where you were ahead of me. So.
So here we are. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in for this live stream special. We definitely are. We're pivoting from our normal show because this is just too exciting of a match here to just let. We can't talk about anything else because there's so many things happening in this game, so much action. So it's only fitting that we bring you just our commentary on everything.
Yep. But with that, I'm going to be right back.
Yeah. Go do what you got to do here. So right now we have a little bit of a pause in play, and we are waiting for the ball to get popped back in after this free kick here on the USA side of the soccer ball. So still 0-0, 0-0, 82 minutes in, closing in on 83 minutes. So as of right now, the way this game has been rolling, it may be looking like extra time. But Mexico, 16 shots to 8 shots for the United States. And honestly, all the shots from the United States seem to have come in the last, probably, I would say, 10 minutes of this match. So USA is definitely on the momentum upswing here. They're moving the ball, a little bit of a giveaway there. Not a smart play. Thought it was running on in the corner there, and giveaway for Mexico, who will have a free kick, or a goal kick, I should say, downfield. All right. So here we go. Another opportunity, potentially, and stuffed by Mexico. But they're building something really strong there. They had some options to move it. If they didn't get Mexico didn't get that good tackle at the top of the 18, I think USA would have had a great opportunity there as well. However, Mexico is having a free kick here towards the American half of the field, and they're just working the ball around as they try to kind of break through on this American side, which they haven't been able to do that much over the course of the last few minutes.
Defense there by the U.S. Gonna get it out of danger, cleared out. Back to Mexico's end of things. Endurance will be important as we move forward here. Which team looks more tired? This is I guess I don't know. They're in Vegas. This is terrible. Is that a retractable roof or is it always indoors?
I want to say it's retractable, but I could be wrong.
I'm curious to know if, the Mexico defender. Oh, that was okay. Not even a penalty. And now the ref blows the whistle for no reason. The guy's down. That's a super dangerous tackle, in my opinion. But what do I know? Nothing at all. And now it's the Mexican guy that's hurt, and we got to worry about. We do see a U.S. Guy helping out with some potential cramping. It looks like so. Scared to watch anyone cramp up and not be able to play in that mode. So as I talked about with the endurance and making sure you're hydrated out there, it's really important, children. So stick to drinking water as I have a sip of beer.
Well, and who was that? That was Corona that got the tackle there on just now. And honestly, Corona's been
Was that another beer advertisement, or what are you talking about here? I'm just kidding.
No. Oh, my bad. No. That was. Oh, sorry.
Who, right there? Areola? Number 7?
No, it was somebody else I was keeping in mind.
Ariel is getting taken off. He's the one who missed a amazing opportunity in the first half off the outside of the post, one he probably should have done better with. And we have Giacchini, but that's not Giacchini that they're looking at coming in. That's the guy that just got sold off from the Sporting Kansas City. I'm very confused right now what's happening with the substitutions. That's Giacchini. All right, we're making some moves. Hopefully bringing some energy out on the field to create some opportunities moving forward. Because this is a young team. There's no excuses here to not be in good enough shape. Like, no excuses at all. This should be a fit club. It should be a team that's... Busio also came in, so that's who I was talking about, the guy who just got transferred off of Sporting KC to literally within the confines of this tournament. It happened like a week or two ago. He's going to go play internationally. So, and he's like a 19-year-old kid. He's a guy that could, if he continues to progress, could be a meaningful, piece moving forward for the international team. Not all these guys are. Some of these guys are more depth options, but he's a guy that at his age, with his talent, skill, and level, can be a real piece moving forward.
Yeah, Eric Williamson was the one subbed out that I was talking about, man. He was just getting beat up all day between all the tackles that he was just absorbing, the headshot from the cleat, the headshot from the soccer ball early on in the match. Like, he's going to sleep well tonight, that's for sure. But right now, it just looks like Mexico
some sloppy play. Honestly, I feel like both teams have made some turnovers that were unforced, that have created some opportunities that then the forwards kind of waste. So, a little sloppy right now, honestly.
Yeah, USA, I mean, almost got a steal after the goalie almost just gave it away on the other side of the field, and then all of a sudden, Mexico kind of mounted a little bit of comeback. So now USA is controlling the ball in their own 18, passing the ball, working the way through up the midfield, and then another turnover there. So USA giving the ball up, Mexico in command here in the top of the 18. They give the ball up. So now it's just kind of a back and forth yo-yo kind of a match here. Long ball here is not going to make it. Goaltender will come out and save it for Mexico, and we are back into Mexico possession.
Headed to the 90th minute in the second here, so it'll be interesting. They haven't posted the extra time, or injury time, I should say. That will be provided here as we're at about 89-10 here. So they're looking for something. Mexico is. I don't know if they're looking for a handball here. Certainly not a handball. He's not extending his arm at all on the replay. That's just a natural play with your arm there. So nothing to see there. And you'll see it in a second. But I say there's nothing to see there.
There's nothing to see. Let's see here. Let me pull this up real quick.
Now they're just showing. I think they're waiting for a VAR review. This would be. I hope that's not what they're doing, because that would be ridiculous. There's no way they can make that call. 3 minutes. 3 minutes of stoppage time. Not a lot, considering a second half. They had 5 in the first half. That's unusual. Usually the first half is much shorter than the second half. But in a tie game, it makes a little more sense, where teams aren't necessarily stalling or delaying as much as you might see when a team has a lead at some point. So we're looking like we're headed likely to extra time. So we'll play another 30 minutes unless the U.S. gets something here. And my boy Busio, that I just hyped up, had a decent chance from the top of the cylinder outside the box and launched it very, very high over.
Yeah, it went straight over. I mean, I love.
How frustrating is this? that I'm ahead of you, by the way?
I mean, I can't really do much about it at this point, so I'm just embracing it. And if there's a chance for me to catch up here shortly, I will try to do what I can. But it's funny because you get the reaction and I get the little replay on how to describe whatever just happened. So it kind of actually works out in a sense.
Oh, I missed the delay. Was actually that I guess Diacola, someone ran on the field from the stands.
Oh, that's.
I don't know why I'm assuming. Actually, at first I'm assuming that's a Mexican fan, but no, that actually now that I think about it sounds more American.
That's what's such an American thing.
Really, really dumb.
I mean, I feel like that's such an American thing that, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if. And obviously they don't show those things on TV ever because they don't want to encourage that type of behavior. But
right, I do the same with my children.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be a U.S. throw here. We are in the 93rd minute. Likely less than. We'll see with the ref. About a minute to go here, and before we head to extra time. We'll see if the U.S. They do have possession. They turned it over. And all of a sudden, Mexico, it's about a 1-on-4. It's not anything crazy, but a good pass to the outside. Something that usually wouldn't be that tense. The announcer is making the most tense moment of the match, which is stressing me out, even though Mexico really doesn't have any good opportunity there. So I don't know if that's good or bad announcing, but it was stressing me out nonetheless.
Have you heard, by the way, like the Mexican
official, by the way, official? We are at the end of regulation.
Have you heard like the Mexican announcements, for the various matches, just regular Mexico, like league, La Liga, everything else, man. They're absolutely like, I almost like listening to the broadcast in Spanish as opposed to English because it's just that much more entertaining. You don't even know half the stuff they're saying. I'm semi-fluent in Spanish. However, I struggle to keep up with.
Say that again.
Semi-fluent.
I didn't know that. Are you semi-fluent in Spanish?
I mean, I could speak some Spanish and survive in a Spanish-speaking country. However, I'm not as proficient as I needed to be vocabulary-wise. Like, I need to get a little bit better touch on vocabulary. But I could get through and survive in Mexico or Spain or something like that, and
all right,
do all right for myself.
Right. I think I'm decent at understanding, maybe grasping what someone's trying to say to me, but I can't say anything back. I'm just like, I think I know what you're asking me, but I don't know what to do now. I don't know how to communicate that back. Google Translate.
That's all you need, and you'll survive one way or another. Now, we're going into extras here, so that's going to give both teams a little bit of time to kind of catch their breath, kind of get ready to roll here and make a push, because right now both teams, after that little surge by USA, both teams have seemed to be getting sloppy. As you mentioned, it just hasn't been a cohesive control of the ball from either side at this point. It's been more of a back and forth, turnover, make a run, turnover. It hasn't exactly been a great last few minutes. So we went from having all the opportunities in the world for Mexico and for the United States to just back.
Watch this opportunity right here, because I think you're just behind me. The U.S. had early on in the 28th minute. Like, how do you not put that away?
Oh, the 26th minute. Yeah, right here. Yeah. It's just wide. Yeah. He just sails it wide. I mean, honestly, again, this could be. Here's the 71st minute where there was another one here, sailed over. So that's opportunity number 2. And then there was another one here.
This one was wild.
The 70.
Actually, a really good play by the goalie, honestly. And all he did was just flew his body in front of it.
At first, I thought At first, I thought it hit his arm, and they, like it kind of came down and hit him on the forearm, and maybe they would make a call there. But they let it go, and the minute they let it go, it was like, man, this could be an opportunity here for someone to come in. And sure enough, you see a white jersey streaking in to try to put it away, and just misses it. I feel like the goaltending on both sides has been incredible this match, though. There was that early opportunity for Mexico where our U.S. goalie made an incredible save, and that was kind of from a header that was coming in from the side, service in header, and just barely blocked by our team. And then here we have the coin flip, by the way, and just goaltending has been on point.
Yeah, I mean, some nice saves both directions. This is gonna be fun. We got 30 minutes of more soccer to watch here. Regardless, I'm gonna assume there's nothing that's golden goal. I imagine at this point, golden goal hasn't been a thing in quite a while in most international tournaments. So I'm assuming that's the case here. So even if there is a goal scored,
they'll play out the rest of the time. Yep. Yeah, that's going to be how it goes. And then from that point, if they still are even at the end of both overtime, extra both halves in the extra time, then I believe at that point is when they go into penalty kicks. Now this is huge for USA to get a win here, because obviously Mexico has historically been dominant in this in the Gold Cup in general, but USA hasn't been here since 2017, and this is a chance for them to really show their young talent has what it takes to compete with some of the better teams. Even if this Mexico team and both this USA team are both young teams, this still is the future for both, right? So, you have really solid talent coming up for both of these national teams that you're going to be seeing continuously, especially, World Cup's coming up here, and you might see a handful of these faces on that roster.
We got qualifying with CONCACAF. Ooh, it's a good opportunity. I think did they blow a whistle, or was that just a corner? We got World Cup qualifying coming up for the CONCACAF region. I believe, let me look when that starts. It's a month or two away. I want to say either September or October is when it starts. They've been slowly releasing the US World Cup qualifying schedule. Let me take a look. Even sooner, a month away. It starts September 2nd for the U.S. versus El Salvador. So we're going to dive into... Normally, World Cup qualifying is way earlier than this for a World Cup that's next year, but obviously COVID and all that affected the schedule. Hopefully, it doesn't affect the schedule moving forward. I'm terrified that people are going to start... I don't even know. I don't even want to bring that up. Let's not talk about that.
So
Let's talk about happy things.
So you might be ahead of me with this corner here, but it just goes to the side of the net.
Yeah, don't watch the corner.
It's a wasted corner there, unfortunately, by the United States. And we're back at the square one here, trying to get back on track with trying to find another opportunity. It seems to be just a little bit of a struggle here, trying to get something that we can really be excited about when it comes to this half. Now,
here's the good news. We're getting a lot of U.S. Mexico matches this year. Obviously, just had one a couple months ago. Gonna have a couple World Cup qualifiers moving forward. So these are always fun, and a lot more fun when we're not. There was a stretch there where, well, obviously our international team was not where it needed to be and didn't even qualify for the last World Cup. So, where we were getting a little dominated too often, but it feels nice to be competitive in these matchups against Mexico.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you know what? A difference in this matchup as well, I feel like it hasn't been as chippy and as physical as the one that took place here in the Sports Authority Field a little bit ago, right? I feel like these two teams are a little bit more focused on just trying to play the game, straight up, and having just putting together a really, really solid performance as opposed to just all of the chippiness and all the stuff that we were seeing quite a bit of in the last matchup. Here we go. Oh, man.
Offsides, by the way.
Yeah, it was...
It was off.
It was still offsides.
Actually, the linesman did raise the flag eventually. It's weird how they do it now, where because of VAR, they let the play go to see what the result is before officially putting their flag up, unlike before where they would just put it up right away. But that was called offsides, probably correctly, but close, and Mexico didn't end up finishing with a goal in any way, but.
And the reason for that is they can always take, like, you don't know what can happen with an opportunity, right? It's kind of like how the NFL does it with they let a play go. They throw the flag, they let the play go, and they see how it plays out, but then they, bring it back and call a penalty when, depending on how things play out.
Or a fumble. Or a questionable fumble versus not fumble. They let it play out. Just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Because they want to know they make the right decision on that. And if there was a scoring opportunity and it does come to fruition, then they can make that judgment call through VAR, and they can make it easier, look at that. Deacle in chat. The stadium does not have a retractable roof. It is translucent to allow the sunlight during day games. Mexico opportunity didn't really come of much. Not a lot of juice on that shot on goal, but it was a shot on goal saved by our keeper. And now we're just resetting here in the back. Man, this has been...
Shots are 19-10 Mexico, 5-2 on goal for Mexico. But the fact that there's only been 2 shots on goal for the U.S. is a joke, because they've had several opportunities that weren't on goal that were big opportunities. So sometimes in soccer, it's like not all those stats are as meaningful. Really nice play from U.S. on a counter. Nice play from the keeper to stop that, but it didn't look that dangerous. But then, based off the reaction and the save, I don't know if that was going in if he doesn't stop it. If not, there was a U.S. guy on the run though to get over there and maybe get there first. So would have been interesting.
Yeah,
Mexico great. Right back at us.
Great save by Talavera in there. I mentioned it earlier. The goalie play has been absolutely stellar from both sides. I feel like each and every time there's a big shot on goal or there's a huge opportunity for either team, the goaltenders have come up huge across the board for these. Now we have a corner coming up here for Mexico. And they will have an opportunity to potentially get something on the board here from the corner. But yeah, look at that save. It looked like that was kind of going on a trajectory wide, but
yeah, I don't think it was going on now. But I think it would have been in play.
It definitely would have been in play.
The U.S. guy was going to be coming across the front, which there was a guy on a run, could have finished it off. So dangerous there. Oof.
Corner headed out, kind of passed around here, entry ball in, and Mexico almost had an opportunity there, but cleared out by USA to midfield.
Now we have Zardes, one of our most experienced guys on this Gold Cup roster, down. He was the one who cleared it. I didn't really see what happened, honestly. I don't know if the follow through on clearing it out or what, but he's moving again, so hopefully he's all right. This is a good opportunity here for Mexico. Cross the face of goal. U.S. with a nice clearance, but Mexico gets it back. Nothing to do there, and it's going to slowly roll out for a U.S. pro in their own defensive third.
Yeah, Mexico seems to be having a few more opportunities now. They're starting to get a little bit more traction on our end of the field here, and they just seem like they're trying to. They're not really letting the U.S. get across midfield. They're really doing a great job at keeping the ball in the U.S. half and making it so that U.S. is just kind of just running around on their own defensive side, just clearing the ball and not really getting a lot of really good opportunities to push the ball upfield to the forwards.
Yep. Yeah, U.S. is really struggling in the last couple minutes for sure, and for the latter part of the last 10 to get possession and really keep it. Wasted shot from Mexico. Mexico tried to just shoot it from about 45 yards out for some reason. Went wide, wasn't really a threat at any point.
Still,
wasted opportunity.
Time of possession, still 65-35 for Mexico. They've completed over 600 passes compared to the U.S. 330 passes. And then they're completing 80% of their passes, Mexico is, compared to 67% of the Americans. More fouls on USA compared to Mexico. And Mexico has the only yellow card of the game as of right now. So that's kind of where we're at. But overall, you're seeing the stat on the screen right now. If you're watching, it's the Mexico's 10th Gold Cup final, 8 titles. They're the 2019 defending champions. So they're used to being here. They really know what they're doing in these pressure games, and they've done this time and time again in these Gold Cup finals where they've just really played really strong football, right? Diacola, if it keeps going this way, I see a goal coming from Mexico. Yeah, that seems to be the vibe. That seems to be the momentum right now for the Mexican team. They're just controlling the ball a little bit more. USA isn't getting any takeaways, and they're not doing anything when they do. When they get the takeaways, they just kind of lose that possession. There's a penalty here. You're still ahead of me. I'm still seeing some of these. You're probably like at least a minute ahead of me here. I
mean, U.S. They seem to be reeling a little bit right now. Can't seem to get control of the ball. Can't seem to even get a counterattack or anything like that. Mexico hasn't had any great chances, but they're keeping the ball and knocking at the door. Really nice delivery there. They called it offside, so U.S. has the ball back in their defensive third with a kick. And he was off on replay, so wasn't probably going to be a big opportunity anyway, but US needs to maybe, I don't know if getting to this first kind of break in 5 minutes or so here will help, but kind of reeling a bit the last 5 minutes or so, not really getting it taken to them by Mexico.
Yeah, no.
Every 50-50 ball seems to be going Mexico's way right now. And U.S. is just chasing. And you know what chasing does is it tires you out.
Yeah. No, Mexico's definitely has a foothold over the control of this game.
Foothold. I like that.
Yeah, you like that. You like that. Let's see what happens here. So, yeah, Mexico just controlling the ball, moving the ball in and out.
Even when the U.S. they finally get a control of the ball and then they have to work backwards, they don't seem to have a lot of cohesion right now. There's nowhere to go with the ball, and then it eventually gets back to the goalie and they just clear it downfield and give up possession again.
Yeah, and why this is so big for the U.S. is, the 6 other meetings in the finals, USA has lost a lot of them. They're Mexico is 5-1-0 in their championship matches with the United States in this Gold Cup final. So they've dominated this game top to bottom. So the fact that we're still in this, even if we're not really going the right direction here in this match based off of how much control Mexico is they're just looking comfortable right now. I don't think they're really, they don't look like they're panicking too much. They seem like they're making the right decisions there. A long ball in is, the more uncharacteristic aspects of the last 5-10 minutes of this match where Mexico loses the ball here, and then now USA has a free kick going into the Mexican side of the pitch. But as far as this goes,
yeah, and this is important beyond just beating Mexico. I talked about on another show how this does qualify you, plays a part in qualifying you for a Confederations Cup, which I don't think they actually had a confession. Usually it's the year prior to the World Cup, so that would have been this year, for next year's World Cup. So I don't think they had a Confederations Cup this year, but normally this affects qualifying for a Confederations Cup, which is a nice kind of warm up and lets you know where your standing is on an international stage heading into the World Cup the following year. And it gives us more exciting, fun international U.S. soccer games to watch that aren't just friendlies. Because really, when we play, anyone outside of CONCACAF, it's usually just a friendly. So getting those ones that aren't friendlies is huge. Here's U.S. with an opportunity and wasted.
Yeah, end up getting the ball into the 18 and a shot just sails over. Hope didn't get that good grasp on getting over the ball there. It kind of just sails on him and he just slices it over the crossbar by at least 2 or 3 feet. So there goes an opportunity that we won't be able to capitalize on. So here we go, and Mexico still is back in control here.
We're close to the midway point here. We're in the 105th minute, so they do switch sides after 15. So we're knocking on the door of that first 15, and of course we'll play another 15, and then if nothing's decided at that point, we will head to penalty kicks.
Let us know how you guys are feeling about this. Man, I'll tell you what, that must be a fun atmosphere to be in. I'll tell you, because I keep seeing shots of the crowd, and they're loving it, man. You got all the Mexican fans out there with their, you got the sombreros, they got the luchador masks, they got everything going. I love it. The flags are flying. Then you have USA, they got all the decked out face paint and all these different things going on. This is always one of those fun matches that I'm not going to lie. If I could ever go to a USA-Mexico match, I know we had one here recently in Colorado. I wasn't able to make it to, but I would love to go to a match like this, especially one that means something like the Gold Cup final. It would be a fun experience for man. We need to do that sometime, Sky. We need to make it out to one of these matches here.
Yeah, we kind of blew it with the one we had in our back door just a month or two ago, as I referenced before. But that one, there wasn't a ton of, and I knew it was happening, and it was kind of late in the game, but there wasn't a ton of, publicity around it, marketing around it, as well as they were doing, limited capacity. So I didn't know what that was going to look like at the time. So we're in a different world now without limited capacity until we move back to limited capacity, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I hope not.
So yeah, let's dive into some of the other aspects of this. So now that we're on like the extra time half, head-to-head record, obviously Mexico, we've been talking about the dominance that Mexico has. Now the head-to-head record here, 36 wins for Mexico, 20 for the United States. It's just one of those things where they've always historically just had that better team. And here's the thing, USA is really coming around. We've been talking about all of the exciting players that have potential to be a big factor in the next World Cup. We're going to make the World Cup. It's not going to be a decision here for anybody, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna actually do it this year. It was embarrassing to miss it last time around, and I'm excited about the chances that we have. Now, do I think we're gonna be favorites once we get into like a bigger tournament like that? No, we're not gonna be close, but we are gonna compete a hell of a lot more than we would have ever competed before. And, we're seeing that on display here with how well our young up and coming players on this team are going to translate over to that national team and even just be that much stronger. Like if you're a big USA fan, USA soccer fan, you must be loving how we're competing here with our young talented team in this match.
Yeah, and not to mention some of our best players that aren't here are equally as young, if not younger, than some of these guys. So
it's nice.
Listen, there's a lot to be excited for moving forward with U.S. soccer. Not that they're going to become a favorite in any kind of international tournament anytime soon, but there's a lot more to work with, where if they can start piecing things together and getting some cohesion along with some experience, there's a lot of talent there.
Diacol in chat. 36% possession does not win games. Well, here's the thing. I would normally it can in the sense that if you, I don't know if you had a chance to catch some of the Spain Euro 2020, but Spain literally controlled possession for like 85 to 90% of some of those games, and they almost lost some of those. And so, you know, here's the thing with the possession is the fact that, you know, a quick transition, it depends on your personnel and who you have on the pitch, because obviously, like, you can control the ball the whole time, but if you're not getting shots and you're spending too much time controlling the ball, then, you know, you could get, you know, if you have a not so great defense and the transition hurts you because you're too busy controlling possession, and it gets, you know, fast break the other direction and you're not ready. That's what happened to Spain in the 2020 World Cup. Now, I mean, or Euro Cup. Now, is that a product of them not being able to get offense from their top line, and then also, you know, not having a good enough defense to be able to handle those fast transitions? Sure. And here's an opportunity here. You're probably ahead of me, but
pretty decent chance from the U.S.
Decent chance. Nice shot on goal. It wasn't necessarily a powerful shot there, but
gave up a bit of a rebound that they almost were able to jump on, but the keeper grabbed it just before a rebound was out there. So
put a little
nice opportunity for the U.S. there on a play where really there hasn't been much the last 5 or so minutes going either direction here. Bad corner given up by U.S. right here. So Mexico's going to have a corner as we creep closer and closer to a potential shootout. We'll see what happens here. And unfortunately, I'll be right back again. Hold on one second.
But going back to your point on the possession, I feel like the possession, you know, creates opportunities if you have the right pieces in place. So, you know, if you don't have the players up front, then, you know, it doesn't really help you too much, or if you don't have the players to execute on that. But it does give you a better chance to win games, that's for sure. So again, you know, if you're controlling the pace of you definitely are in a better shot to compete and get better shots if you possess the ball and you can create those opportunities. So yeah, no, I mean, possession is definitely a big aspect of this, and Mexico's definitely controlling that possession at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how they continue to, you know, if that continues, and if the U.S. is able to get a few more shots on goal here, try to create something in the back line of Mexico to where maybe something creeps through the back end and we can just follow up and get a nice solid goal on the back end of the net, or even just a nice cross to create something that could potentially lead to a scoring chance for the United States. So yeah, right now, I believe, at least from what I'm watching now, we have loose ball penalty here on Mexico.
We'd have Diacol on the chat. If it goes to a shootout, who gets the nod?
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? Here's the thing.
So unpredictable.
Here's the thing. If it goes to shootout, it's going to be pretty exciting because we've honestly seen goaltenders from both sides in this match play unbelievable tonight. they've really done a good job at, maintaining composure in big time moments of this game. And that's no different. A shootout is no different when it comes to handling the pressure. So honestly,
and ironically, normally I would give the U.S. goalie throughout that's never been our weak. That's been our strength a lot of times throughout the last 20 years or so, and we've always had the better goalie. But Mexico's had a pretty great goalie history as well. So, and both of these guys have played well tonight. I almost feel like I've seen more saves from the Mexican goalie in this matchup than I have from the U.S.
I mean,
to be honest.
No,
Even shots on goal are different. The impressive saves and some of those plays have been from his side. But honestly, it's hard to project what'll happen in a shootout. It could go either way, certainly.
And you know what's interesting?
I'm of course taking U.S.
You know what's interesting is I honestly, I don't know who the more pressure would be on in penalty kicks. We saw this in the Euro 2020 where, the Italy game, right? Italy was playing in some matchups against some big time countries across that tournament. And I felt like we talked about it in the final. Italy was playing in the final, and we talked about how Italy's playing with house cards. They're not worried about this. They're fine. The other team had more pressure on them to, finish out that match in the penalty kicks, and they choked. A huge choke job, right? And honestly, I can't tell you, because honestly, there's some pressure on Mexico to not lose to the United States. They've obviously dominated the heads up matchup here. You saw that 5-1 in these finals, so there's a pressure on them to not lose to a team like the United States. But then there's also the United States hasn't had a chance like this in a while, so I could see the pressure getting to them too a little bit more, because obviously the nerves of we're so close, we could win this, we haven't done this, creeps in my opinion. I feel like that would, and I know these guys say that they're here and they can handle those big moments, but at the same time, they know they're not going into this knowing that, oh yeah, we don't know the history here. We're just playing straight up. They know that Mexico has historically beat the shit out of us in international games like these. So I can't. Honestly, I feel like it's almost even. Even going into PKs.
We gotta get the. Oh, I get it out. Terrifying and an absolutely reckless play by a Mexican player. Reckless. They're giving a yellow on it. Honestly, let's watch this again. He just absolutely flies through our guy. But it was a dangerous opportunity on a free kick for Mexico. Ball was flying in the air deep in the box and loose in the box for quite a bit. Mexico never got any sort of shot, and then I don't know. It was
so yeah. Ball goes in, headed by our U.S. team, but then Mexico heads it closer to the goal. We ends up popping out, and then Gallardo ends up coming in, and
on replay it was a yellow. It wasn't a red. I get excited sometimes. Really bad.
Yeah.
A little too excited.
It kind of looked like his elbow was kind of in the mix, and then
it was. The elbow was in the mix, but it wasn't flagrant enough to warrant a red by any means.
Sure,
I would have hated that on replay, but live I was like, you just tried to decapitate this guy.
We're getting closer to the 115th minute here, so 5 minutes after that we'll be potentially into penalties, depending on how much. If there shouldn't be that much extra time here. There hasn't been that much stoppage, so from that standpoint, it should have a couple minutes extra potentially. But from what I'm seeing here, we are kind of controlling the ball outside of the 18 of Mexico, working the ball around back to midfield and served in, where the goalie will eat that up.
No reason to serve that in, by the way.
No, it wasn't a high percentage pass into the box. There was only one of our players there, and it was just kind of, I don't know, there wasn't a lot of success rate from that pass in. I feel like you could have worked it around a little bit more, got a better shot there. But Mexico's, kind of rolling back. Mexico's kind of on their heels, it seems, over the last maybe couple minutes of this match, and they've kind of been a little sloppy here. They've had a couple opportunities in the box, but they haven't exactly looked strong as much as they had in the previous stretch, right? So this could still 5 minutes left here in regulation not regulation, in the extra time regulation, what they allow here. So we'll see what we can accomplish here. But USA almost getting a steal there on the Mexico side.
And they've had a couple of those where they pressure deep in Mexican territory to get a turnover that's created great opportunities. Almost got another one there. A potential foul wasn't called that gave US now a counter where Mexico. Oh, and then that's just ridiculous. Another yellow going to be charged to Mexico on a play where he didn't make a play on the ball whatsoever. He was stopping a counterattack.
Yeah, and that's a true yellow right there. That's just trying to get your team back because you're getting towards the last 4 minutes of this match, and you don't want to be caught.
Yeah, stopping a counter, taking them out, stopping that play from happening.
And those kind of things you see quite a bit here, just to make sure that you would take a yellow here just so that you can get all your guys back and in position. So, here's the thing. I mentioned
not a bad yellow at that point at all.
No. I mean, you got to take the. If I'm playing in this position, I take the yellow as well. Now, this is going to set up a nice little free kick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we got a goal, everybody. That is that's an American goal, and what a service. We're in it. There we go. We got a service in and a nice header going in 117th minute here, just under the 117th minute in this match. Wow. And that could be the game winner right there. I mean, that is huge. That's such a big mistake from Mexico to not be able to defend on that one. That was pure gold. We're talking the Gold Cup. That was gold here from the U.S. What a service into the 18, and what a finish, because that was incredible. Wow.
Part of me was like, I would have loved to have a live commentary of a shootout. So selfishly, I'm like, but oh man, wow, what a finish, what a delivery. What a header.
Golazo.
What a goal. Sorry did you think it was a goal when I was reacting?
I couldn't figure out the reaction because I couldn't tell if you were upset yet because they missed a really close one, or if they were, what a service in. And wow. I don't know what to say here.
We are now just got to hold on for just a couple minutes here.
Acosta
restarted the action, but
what a shot.
This would be 2 in a row against Mexico. Nothing to, oh boy. All right, Mexico did have an opportunity. Now I'm going to have a corner. After all the defeats, it seems like over the last 5 years or so to Mexico, where prior to that we had a run where we were playing really well. This feels good. This feels real good. Listen, we're not there yet. It would be very normal for my team to give up a goal at this point to send it into penalty kicks, but that corner was not it. Now, the clearance was even worse by the U.S. defender, but the corner was not an issue.
Mexico still, trying to do their best to control the ball in our corner here. Deb and chat.
About
Had to close the patio door before the neighbors complain. Yeah, no, everyone is excited about this one.
Yeah, I was like, I know you're behind, so I couldn't. I was like, I don't know what to do here. So that was the reaction, I guess, spur of the moment I chose. Usually I have the office door closed. I didn't tonight, so hopefully that didn't wake my kids. But things are looking good. Now, there was a potential... It looked like a Mexico player was just trying to drive the ball off a U.S. defender's hand in the box. That was super weird, but nothing called. And then, in fact, a penalty on Mexico right after that. But
Plus,
they're re-showing the goal again. Just a great ability to get up and meet the ball at its apex and put it in the back of the net.
I mean, that's textbook right there. I mean, that
was a phenomenal header.
That was unbelievable, and it was just, again, the entry pass followed by, just a guy who just went up for the ball, went to the ball, and Mexico defenders didn't even see the ball coming. They didn't even look towards where the ball was coming from at that point. So now we got plus 2 minutes here, an extra minute before this is done, and this is looking pretty close to a U.S. win as we've ever.
They've held them scoreless for 121 minutes. They just got to do one more.
By the way, if you guys are here, hit that follow button if you're enjoying us talk about this. We weren't even planning on doing this coverage leading into this, and then the match just got more and more exciting as we kept rolling on, and we just couldn't stop. But we couldn't stop what we were doing. We had to cover this live. So hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Again, hit that follow button. We're going to have a lot more to talk about here just briefly post-match, and we'll cover all of the insights that we have going into the end of this one. So here we go.
Ooh. Super interesting play with the goalie coming out for Mexico and the U.S. delivering it. And Boosie gets it. It's taken it to the corner. This looks real good. We're already at 2 minutes to stop a shot, and there it is. There is the whistle.
We have CONCACAF Gold Cup champions. United States has taken it home, and it is over. It is done. Heroic game for the United States to finish this one out in the final minutes of this match. I mean, you couldn't have drew this up better for the United States. Diaco, we were talking in the chat about possession and stuff. This is the kind of thing, like, even though you possess doesn't mean you're going to win the match. And what's great, is there money flying around in the stadium? Are you seeing that?
Oh, I did just see a water bottle get thrown towards the U.S. player in the corner. It didn't hit, but you hate to see that.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Gotta be gracious. I mean, Mexico played a hell of a match. I mean, this could have gone either way. And I feel like, you didn't see a lot of the chippiness. You didn't see a lot of the physicality. That's what I think, that's where I think Mexico maybe could have done a little bit more, not to say that I would like that, but frustrating the United States players a little bit. I mean, they didn't need to, though, at the same time, though. They controlled the pace of this match, a lot of it, and U.S. got their opportunities, Mexico got theirs, and, I felt like both teams played pretty well. It just came down to one last play at the very end, but, I mean, honestly, over the whole course of the match, USA had the better scoring opportunities, let's be honest. They had more shots on goal that were potential.
A couple really, really high level opportunities.
Sure. And Mexico had a couple as well, but not as many as United States. So, this is kind of a heartbreak for Mexico. This is fantastic for the United States. This is such a big boost for the United States national team and what we have coming up, for Team USA. I mean, hell of a match.
I didn't think the U.S. was going to win this one. I was more confident with the game the other, month or two ago that we've talked about. U.S. in this tournament hasn't been dominating by any sense of the word. crept past Qatar in the semis 1-0 on a late goal. Quarterfinals beat Jamaica by 1 goal. So not exactly like dominating performances left and right there. But they won. They played in 6 games. They won all 6. So there's something to be said for that. And the confidence this brings, like the confidence to know that you can go out there and compete with, anybody in your region, certainly, and moving to an international stage is monumental. Like, to get some of those wins under your belt that they haven't had in quite a while, gives you the confidence to go out and know that you can do it, and not to feel the confidence and or not to feel as much pressure and maybe like a qualifier even. There's no excuse for them not to qualify the World Cup next year. They'll do it. They're going to do it.
No, I think so too. And here's the thing. We were talking a lot about the NBA players, the Team USA. The world's catching up to Team USA, and they're not scared of them anymore, right? Well, the opposite is happening here. I think USA is catching up to the world in a sense. I think that we're not scared of the teams that we used to be scared of anymore, especially after this win. And I think that even our young team growing in this tournament, adding this experience to what they can do for a potential world event like the World Cup, I mean, this is big. And I feel like, again, this is the United States catching up to the world. We've been so far behind in soccer for so long, and this is our chance to really be the new kind of up-and-coming team when it comes to the talented nature of what we are building here in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels good. This is a young team, worked hard to get to this point. I just remember the U.S. teams of late that, the experienced squads that underperformed. Like, I used to be not to throw this guy, one name under the bus, Michael Bradley. I liked Michael Bradley when he was young a lot. And he had a lot of skill, and I thought he was a good piece for the U.S. But there were so many moments where he underachieved or made the wrong move. Like, there just wasn't the cohesion or the passion or certainly the skill level. But here we are. Like, the U.S. is announcing to the world, like, we've arrived. We're ready to go. We've now beat Mexico twice this year in 2 finals that are on the biggest stage. And we'll see them again, like I said, 2 more times in qualifying here as we get ready to go for the World Cup. We're a month and a day from the start of World Cup qualifying. I'm pumped for that. Let's go. Let's take care of business. Let's ride this momentum. Let's not leave any question to whether or not we need to worry about qualifying for a World Cup in a CONCACAF region where we have no business ever missing out on a World Cup. So let's go. Let's take this momentum. Let's ride it. Let's continue to build on it. And let's go.
Yeah.
It's a fun time for U.S. soccer.
Yeah, U.S. soccer definitely, with this win, I mean, they're proving that they're the best team right now in North and South American regions. Like, they're definitely, I mean,
North and Central, I should call it. Brazil.
Sorry, my bad. I misspoke. Yeah, Central American regions. Yeah, no. Those teams are a little bit more talented than we are at the moment. But Mexico that's the pinnacle of the success from the CONCACAF region, right? Mexico's historically been better than the United States and any other country for the most part. Obviously, to the fact that the recent success over the last couple years, I mean, it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I think you can't stop but wonder, man, like, USA is starting to take the mantle here, and we're starting to get better athletes for this team. And this only helps, too, to get more and more youth players exposed to this. I know this is going to be all over, the news channels, whether it's ESPN, Fox Sports. They're all going to be covering this tomorrow morning. And, obviously, NBA, NFL is going to be taking the center stage, but this is also going to be at the headlines across the country. I mean, we're here on a Sunday night. I'm sure a lot of people are staying up to watch this match because it was a big one here for United States. And kids are going to watch this. They're going to get more athletes to USA Soccer. And it's going to just be, I mean, that's where it starts, is to get people excited in matches like this, to get involved in their soccer teams, like from a local level, from youth, and grow up, because you got to build it. I mean, that's what all these other countries do. Mexico, all the South American countries, Europe, they all start at such a young age because that's all they are exposed to and see. We don't see a lot of the success in America, and we're starting to see that now. So that's why I feel like this is the gold standard moving forward for Team USA Soccer. It's going to get better and better, I'm telling you.
Yeah, listen. I've heard a lot of hype on U.S. Soccer throughout the years. Like, all right, they just need to. It's becoming more popular. Like, we're gonna develop this. It's gonna happen. Like, and it just hasn't. It really hasn't. They've had some moments for sure, but nothing to the level that we should expect it to achieve. And then 4 years ago, it was almost 4 years ago. It was just under 4 years ago now, where they lost to Trinidad and Tobago in the last qualifier that they needed, and they just needed a win there to qualify for the last World Cup, and they didn't. And that's a low point of U.S. soccer in the last 20 years, certainly. Maybe even further than that. Just a really, really low point. Where do we go from here? How do we fix this? And here we are 4 years later, and like, everything's sunshine and rainbows right now. Like, no, we're not going to compete for a World Cup next year. We're not going to win a World Cup next year. That's not going to happen. But you know what we are? We're dangerous. We're young. We're confident. We play hard. We look like we belong. And you don't have to question that this team is going to show up, because they do. They show up. It's not always beautiful. It's not always pretty. But you know what they do is they get results.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, that's what it comes down to, results. Like, people have been promising us for the longest time, like, hey, USA Soccer is great, but then we would lose. And it's like, well, you told me they were great, so what happened? There's never that connection of greatness versus results. And now we're starting to get that. Best player award, Hector Herrera in this matchup ends up getting the CONCACAF Best Player Award. So best goalkeeper went to Turner, our American goalkeeper. So he ends up taking home best goalkeeper. So they're just handing out their rewards here. Mexico staying on the field to watch. You got the referees coming up. They're going to be getting to the trophy ceremony here very, very soon. They're just kind of going through all the little awards and the little thank yous for all of the champions. And the MVPs and all those, types of things going on right now. So even the referees get medals. You look at that. I mean,
congratulations.
There we go. There we have it.
That's, there's a little bit different culture to soccer at times that not every American understands. But hey, America should understand that everyone gets a medal at this point. That's what we're doing now, right?
I mean, so participation. But
what I was really going to actually bring up is, you look at the scores in these 6 matches, the United States gave up 1 goal in this Gold Cup. So
it's impressive.
Hats off to the defense, and that was in the 6-1 win over Martinique. So they won 6-1 over Martinique in a big blowout. Otherwise, and this is going to be happy and sad at the same time, all other 5 games, I believe, finished 1-0. They won each of those 5 other matchups 1-0. Beat Martinique pretty convincingly, obviously 6-1. But props to the defense. Props to, ability to just put a stone wall on the back. So you don't have to be the most skilled team. You don't have to be the best team all the time at creating chances or this and that. When you can rely on your defense to do the job that they did in this Gold Cup. For America, like, very, very impressive on that vantage point. While Mexico created and had possession tonight, I wouldn't, like we talked about, I think US had better opportunities actually than Mexico did as far as the best scoring chances in this game before they finally put one on the board right before we hit penalty kick. So great job by the defense. This is a young up and coming defense. This is, something we've usually been decently solid at, but not quite garnered the athletes of it. My one concern is we still don't have a guy. We don't have a finisher.
Yeah.
Whether it's on this squad, the B squad, or the A squad, your 9 guy, your guy up top that you can rely on to get in position. We don't have a Ronaldo or anywhere near a Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
But a guy like that you can rely on to when he gets touches within the confines of the goal, anywhere near the goal, he's gonna finish or create opportunities. And that's the one thing the US has always seemed to lack, which is ironic because a lot of times that's an elite athlete, and we should have elite athletes for days out here. So it's puzzling that we can't fill that. It's been a struggle throughout U.S. soccer. We still don't have one. That's going to be the key moving forward. We got to find a guy. We got to find a guy that can sit up top, be that point guy that either gets control or you play it through or creates things, and maybe he steals a couple goals that we don't even deserve. Because right now we don't have that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, we're still a little bit ways away from, again, competing at an international level with Europe, South America, some of these other major countries from around the world. However, yeah, it's just, we got to, once we put it all together and once we just need like a really good athlete up top that can just be consistent. I think consistency is the biggest key.
Altidore is the only one we've ever had, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, due to consistency and injuries, he just wasn't around enough. He got injured too often and didn't quite play to maybe the potential he had. Now, granted, he's third all time in U.S. international goals, so there's nothing to sneeze at there, but he's the only guy that I feel like we've really had that's kind of been that person. And we don't have that guy. We need that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and let us know, guys, how you feel in chat about this big win. How you feel about the United States. They're all lining up here, getting ready to pose with their gold champions medals here. They got the trophy. I'm sure we're going to have some confetti popping off here. Let us know your thoughts about where you see United States going from here. Obviously, there's we have a lot of opinions here on the show, but so do you guys. I want to know what you guys have to say about all of these guys who are competing at a high level, and how they translate over, where they're going from here, because we obviously feel like the potential is growing. It's not there yet, but it's growing. And this is a huge, huge step in that success because we're starting to be consistently good at soccer. It's not like you're worried about them losing as much as you used to, like Trinidad and Tobago. Like, what? Like, how do outcomes like that happen? And here we go. Celebration begins. They're going to break that stage, I think. That thing looks so wet. It looks like they're going to, fall apart on them, and we're going to have, 25 injured guys on the pitch right now. But, yeah, let us know what you guys think. Let us know also what you think about Mexico and how they played. Obviously they're still one of the better teams in the region when it comes to soccer, and they're not going away anytime soon. They still have their, big team that they can, potentially throw out there, and a lot of talent. So there it is. USA wins. That's going to be the picture you will see all over the news tomorrow, all over the news for the next couple days, especially leading into all these World Cup qualifying, matches of, the best teams and, young teams and everything else. Here's where we're at. USA are Gold Cup champions tonight.
Well, and I think they've announced I want to say the next time we play Mexico in World Cup qualifying, first I'm seeing November 12th. That one's in Mexico. November 12th in Mexico. We get them again later on, I assume. No, I only saw one. So I might. Oh no, March 24th of next year. So, man, this qualifying goes right up. I mean, the qualifying for this doesn't finish in CONCACAF until the end of March. So it's gonna be a weird year because you're gonna jump right into, hopefully, like I talked about, we're gonna have a easy qualification. We're gonna feel comfortable. There's not gonna be high stakes heading into the last few games. Would be nice. Especially considering we don't have the easiest of opponents moving towards the end. We got Mexico and then Panama and on the road, and then Costa Rica at home. So those aren't exactly easy opponents moving forward, but it's going to be interesting, and I'm excited to finally get into some World Cup qualifying and see this team compete for something that qualifies them for something that was, man, so painful, so hurtful, so difficult to miss the last time out in that World Cup. Like, I still watch the World Cup. I enjoyed it a lot, but not having the U.S. in it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. So again, we are done with this one. The United States ends up taking it with the last 3 minutes of the overtime in this match today. A big goal by Miles Robertson. Or Robinson, I should say, in this one. 117th minute to put us up. I mean, going into penalty, because we've talked a lot about this towards the end of the match, that I don't know who the more pressure would have been on. I think it might have been evenly split between both teams. Both teams felt pressure, in my opinion, to come away with a victory here and not choke one away, because you don't want to, if you're Mexico, you don't want to choke against the United States, who has historically been inferior to you. And then in U.S., you don't want to choke away a potential win that you aren't used to having. This is not a typical thing for the United States to be in this match and winning this game. So, I think both sides, it would have been an interesting penalty kick. I feel like we were prepping ourselves for that, but luckily Acosta just put in one of the best services into the box that we've seen in a long time through the course of this tournament even, and it was just perfect from Miles Robinson to come in, get above the defender, and just get a nice head right into the goal. And it was just over from there. And that's why we're celebrating tonight here. Team USA in the CONCACAF final.
Yep. Another great one. And Acosta might have had his best international game yet. He's had some experience and some time, but hasn't had big moments. Tonight he played one of the better games, if not the best game he's played at the international level. Nice to see there. A nice piece moving forward to maybe pair with some of those top tier talents that we didn't have on this roster. It's fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love U.S. international soccer. I'm not always great at following, MLS or even, we've talked about it, that I need to get on board with an EPL team. Like, I need to choose one and just move on and watch it. But
100%.
Sometimes, unfortunately, those games are early in the morning and my kids are already up. Damn it.
See, so you might as well watch, right? You might as well put it on in the background at some point. Like,
yeah,
like
if
what?
I don't have, something that they want to watch on.
Have you ever seen those memes, by the way, of like the dad gets a 70-inch TV and then it's like you buy this massive TV to watch sports, and then all of a sudden they have screenshots of, Peppa Pig up there, and you're watching sports on your little phone screen or your little tablet, and it's like, I bought a 70-inch TV for me, and the kids are priority.
Yep. Mine's actually an 86, not to go wild, but yeah, that happens. There's a lot of kid viewing there's by far more kid shows that occur on the 86 inch than anything else. It's not close.
So guys, while we still have you guys here, I want to just make sure that I thank each and every one of you for just watching. This is something we haven't really we didn't really plan out for tonight, and it ended up being a really fun time commentating this whole match. We were watching this, and we were trying to cover some other things, and we just couldn't take our eyes off of what was happening back and forth with this USA-Mexico match. And obviously, we've had, some viewers popping in and out and having a great time watching our commentary. So if you did enjoy the commentary and you're having a good time with us, we have another show on Wednesday coming up. Hit that follow button so you know when we go live in your area. So, typically, Eastern time, we're at 9:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Mountain time locally here in Colorado. But we love to see all of you guys back in the lab for our Wednesday show. We have a lot of cool things that we're covering here coming up this week. A lot of storylines, a lot of different, we have sports all over the place that are coming up. Football, basketball free agency is going to be right in the heart of it this week. So we're going to see some different movement, talk about that. But we want to make sure that you guys are with us here each and every step of the way. So make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, and we appreciate it. And we just love all your participation too. So if you're sitting on the sidelines hanging out with us, throw in your thoughts. We love to hear all of what you have to say because your voice matters, and we appreciate everything you have to say as long as, you guys are wanting to, share your thoughts. So thank you guys all for being a part of this. We hope you're celebrating a big USA victory. Let's see. Diacola in chat. Luka from Dallas Mavs was on fire today in USA basketball. As far as for his national team in the Olympics,
I was gonna say Luka's always on fire in the Olympics. So
he scored 48 points in the Olympic time frame is shorter too. So
I don't think they played today. I think they play tomorrow.
Either
I think
that
the quarterfinals start tomorrow for
maybe
for the men.
So. Luka's been torching teams in the Olympic Games. So we're definitely going to get back into that. There's a lot of things we didn't cover tonight that we were going to that, obviously we wanted to put on the side burner. They just beat Japan, from what it sounds like, which so it's delayed. So they might have beat them yesterday and they have another game. Usually the games...
They're in the quarterfinal against Germany tomorrow.
Yeah, so...
I don't know. That could have been, just a delayed or repeat. But, Luka's been the story of the Olympics so far on the men's basketball side of things. Absolutely incredible. And Slovenia looks really, really tough to beat with him playing that way. So.
Yeah. Want to give a big shout out to everyone who participated in the stream today. Diacola, obviously just bringing everything each and every stream. Mayday popping in early on. Thanks for popping in and talking some Philly baseball and some USA soccer early on. Thank you guys all. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who is following here. Facebook chat, obviously James and Ray, Dark Sage, CJ, Yo-Yo, all of you guys. Thank you guys for being followers, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Again, hit that follow button. We have a little follower goal at the top that we just want to hit 2 followers. Even if we hit one before the end of the stream here tonight, that would be fantastic. And we love to see the little emote pop up, and we like to call out your name. So, if you're in the chat, throw it out there. We'll highlight you each and every time, and then we always listen to your opinion. So if before you leave tonight, before you sign off with us here, hit that follow button. We love all of you guys. So that's all we have for you for tonight's stream. We're going to be back here, like I mentioned, on Wednesday. So make sure Wednesday night you clear your schedules. We have a lot to cover, and we will be back in the lab with you then. Scotty, anything you want to leave anybody with here? Anybody who's watching the stream, anybody who's celebrating USA tonight? What messages do you have for everybody?
Be responsible in your celebrations. No, I'm just kidding. Appreciate you guys hanging in with us. This was a little bit of a different one for us tonight, but enjoyed kind of commentating on this U.S. match, and glad we got to come out on top, and appreciate you guys tuning in. So if you're here, you enjoyed it. There's so much content that we're going to have coming forward, not just with U.S. soccer, with sports across the board. And we didn't even mention that, I don't know, there's like a thing called football starting up. So that's going to be big for us coming forward. So look forward to you guys continuing to join us, and hopefully we provide some fun and insight that you don't get elsewhere. So,
by the way, we are all on social media, so find us all on our social media pages here. Let me pull those up real quick. We are on TikTok as of this past week. We haven't really we posted the first couple days, and we're going to be posting some more this week. So fun TikToks, cover all sorts of sports, some funny stuff, some meme stuff, all sorts of cool things. We're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We're all over the place. So make sure you're hitting us up on all of those. But mainly just hit us up on all of these Twitch channel, Facebook, and YouTube, because that's where it means the most. So love all you guys. Excited to see you back here Wednesday, and have a great start to your week. We'll get you through the hat. We always that's the point. If you're new here, that's the point of the Wednesday show, is to get you through your week halfway through, so that you can just, coast into the last 4 days before the weekend, or last couple days before the weekend. So